Let's get drunk at the director's garage. Let's get drunk at the director's garage. It don't matter wherever you are. Let's all get drunk at the director's garage.
I know this show is supposed to happen on a Wednesday, but I got drunk and couldn't make the gig. So I packed up my headphones and I headed out the door. And here we are today. Time to get this show started. The whiskey's pouring, grab yourself a beer. Everything's ready, the director is here. Time to get loose, join the entourage. Let's all get drunk at the director's garage.
Ah, it just never gets old, does it?
Let's get drunk.
How y'all doing? Hey, welcome. Welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. Been a minute since I've been on the air. But you know, it happens. Things go on. Things get a little goofy. I was in Hawaii for the last week or two. And yeah, it was last week or two. It was this week for a couple of days. And but I was a lot of prep going to it before we went, and then we went and did the shoot, and then all that stuff. And finally made it back and had a lot of stuff to do to organize what we shot, and now I'm here. It's Friday. Cheers, everybody. Meze. We got Mezes today. The Meze, this is the Lyric, number 1, version 1. I like these. Few people do, but I do. I think they're nice. I didn't bring them with me to Hawaii. I brought all I listened to the entire time was these Nobles, the Mystique, the whole time. This and my iPhone. That's all I had time for. Watched a lot of stuff on the airplane, and baseball games were on. A lot of baseball. Watching some baseball, some football, all of it. Things to do. Am I hot? It looks like I'm hot. I'm going to take this down just a little bit. Anyway, cheers, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I'm your host and resident idiot, Michael, and we're back on the air. And all I've got today really is a viewer system to show you. One that just came in late. Neil sent us an update on his rig, which is really nice. Spence dropped some cash on it, clearly. And other than that, I don't have much to report. I've been working on the next episode. I've got 2. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I've got 2 boxes like these. I've got 2 boxes like those, like that one right there, ready to open for upcoming episodes. We just have to get to shoot them and get them out to you. The big review of the RAL 1995 Magna and Imanis is coming along. I laid that out this week, so it's got a basic A-roll. I got to cut some content out of it. We're over 30 minutes on the episode still. And but there's some stuff at the end that's kind of repetitive, so I think I can truncate that and get it all down to time. Write in the chat what's new in your world. What did you, anybody buy anything new? Anybody get anything new? Anybody excited about anything? New album release? Anything? Just put it in the chat, and we'll get to it. It'll be a fun Friday, little lighthearted way to get into the weekend. Probably going to be traveling a little bit this weekend. We might go down to San Diego to see some in-laws. But other than that, just keeping things quiet. House hasn't sold yet. Still stuck in the mud here. But at least a little bit of work is poured in, which is good. That's Always appreciated. So I've got a little bit of work happening, but I paid my taxes today and now I have no money. I mean, we have no money. I'm like, oh, hate taxes. Not fun. And the government's not even working. Damn. I can hate on the whole government, can't I? As they shut down YouTube. And other than that, let's see. I had brought some. I was going to try and show you some of the drone footage that I shot in Hawaii because I'm the world's worst drone pilot. I'm terrible. But I can do it, and I can get, just enough to make it work. And but it's 4K, and my laptop will not play back 4K. It's complete. It's an old this laptop is like from 2015. It's 10 years old. It will not play 4K video. It just stutters. It just, there's nothing smooth about it. I'd have to down convert it in order to show it to you, and I just didn't have the time for that. So, but I was going to bring you a little postcard from Hawaii, and we were on Oahu, and it was a very quick trip, in and out, and shot for a full day, full day, and then came back here, and I had to clean it up and get the footage out to all of the parties that needed it and all that stuff. Shot a lot of photos, can't show those to you because they're classified. Not much happening here in the way of rigs. I haven't had any time to listen to anything. Did listen to some music on the way. Kind of sticking in. I listened to a little bit of classical music, some Haydn and Bartok. And Neil would know about them. I don't really know much about them. I just saw that in my library. I don't know how they wound up there, but that's what I listened to. Listen to some of that, and then I listened to some Fratellis. I listened to their album from about 15 years ago. Their comeback album called "We Need Medicine." Really enjoy that album. It's not as good as their early stuff, but it is good. And there's a couple of catchy songs on there. There's a song called 7 Nights and 7 Days, and it's wonderful. Just very catchy. It'll get caught in your head. It's one of those that it's been looping in my head for a while. Continuing my workout bend, I've been working, walking every day and going up, doing the hills around here and working up a sweat and all that. So staying in shape, that's a good thing. And that's about it. I just, it's been kind of, we're in a stalled pattern right now. I am working on the next episode. That's the unstalled part of it. I know how it's going to go. It's already shot, and I just need to make it into a show now. It's, like I said, I'm running a little long on it. I just got to think about it a bit. Sometimes, I'll work on it for a day, and then I got to kind of let it sit, and then I got to go back and rewatch it and just watch it with fresh eyes, and I'll start to see, let's cut this out, let's trim this up, and hopefully I can get it under 30 minutes. I don't like doing episodes I don't think you guys like episodes that are longer than 30 minutes. And ideally it's like 15 minutes. It's about your sweet spot, I think. That's where, and I'm just judging that just by what YouTube tells me. They tell me they don't like things that go terribly long, except this live stream. You guys like me to go on for hours. No, I'm just kidding. Other than that, let's see. Anything else happening in our world? There's just not much happening. So, and there wasn't much to report to you. I had to take all this stuff down for the open houses, like the light, the lighting, the camera, all of it's got to come down and go away because it clutters the room up. So, I had to put it all back up just to do this live stream today, and maybe I'll get to. Pardon me. Let's take some nectar for a second. Part of me wants to, I can't wait till we get to the new place because I want to be able to set this up again properly and not have to take it down every week. That would be really nice. Had some merch sales. Somebody bought a hat the other day. One of these hats. It's kind of nice, fun, like that. Whoa! Hey, I had a little microfiber on that hat. I didn't even see it. It's like a spider. It was very creepy. Put it on, it just trickled down my neck. So I had a merch sales, and then I fixed the one guy who couldn't get his merchandise at the Director's Garage store. Stuff like this shirt right here. See how great this shirt is? The guy couldn't get his merch because It ships DHL, which uses USPS to get it to him. And he's in the mountains or something in Colorado, and he can't, I guess the USPS won't deliver there or something. He has to go, and anyway, it's a whole thing. I wound up having the merch shipped to me, which I repackaged and sent out UPS, and he got his merch, and he's happy. So I just want to ensure people, if you're leery at all about, I don't know, it's that guy's shady. I made it right with him and made sure that he was satisfied. So the merch store continues to be up and thriving, as much as thriving with 6,000 viewers, 6,000 subscribers can have. Probably should do some new designs too, some different color stuff, or get a little snotty with some of the headphones you just wouldn't understand or something. It'd be a fun little phrase. Got to think up some stuff, get my creativity going again. Other things, let me see. I've been helping out some people, like getting their stuff together, but I got to get my stuff together. Got to get some business going in the shooting. Anyway, let's see. Should we take a look at Neil's photos? Why don't we take a look at Neil's photos? Neil, you in the audience? Put a name in the chat. And Nephilim's got something new. Okay, we'll check that out in a second. Nephilim, we'll get in there and check out your what you've got that's new. Okay, so there's not even like new headphones. I did a search for new headphones today, and there's nothing like new, because everything came out of CanJam that was going to be new. So it's kind of like, womp womp. Just not much to report. I think they released a record store day list today, or yesterday, for the fall, the Black Friday record store day, but I didn't get a chance to look at it yet because I've been busy, guys, busy. So let's see. Let's go to this. All right, so this is Neil's new listening rig. You remember he sold off the B-21 Raider, and this is what he replaced it with, this stack here. So he's got a Cord M-Scaler and a Cord Dave, and then a Cord, this is an Alto for an amp. And then he's got a Stax amp down here. So this would be his dynamic, and then this is his main listening E-Stat, which I like this. I understand why he loves this, because it's Cord stuff tends to go a little bit on the brighter side, and this is definitely, that is in Neil's lane. For sure, and he loves the Stax headphones because I'm sure they're on the brighter side, and that helps him with his hearing. I've listened to this rig, and I just think that the Cord stuff tends a little bit on the brighter side for me, and I'm like, I've got a little more sensitivity, especially in upper mids territory. But I totally. And I see what people love in it, and I still have a Cord. I have a Cord Cord Hugo TT, the original TT that drives my my speaker system here. But I got one other photo in here to show you from his system. This is the close-up on the. This is the Alto, the amp, and he's got a looks like it's an upscale plug to a 4-pin, so he can put his XLRs directly out of this, and then that's obviously for his E-Stat headphone, and he has I believe he has the SRX 9000, which is wonderful, wonderful headphone. I'm still like shaking though, because I'm still like in the what do they call it, the wake, like behind the boat, like the wake of the ribbons being here, and boy, I've got to tell you, I miss them tremendously so far. Give you a hint as to what's coming in this review, man. There was just amazing stuff, just such top tier amazing stuff. totally enjoyable. Really loved it. And it's gone now, and now I'm back to, you know, just dumpy old Sesfaras and X9000 and 007 and Mark 1 and, you know, slumming it. Too much fun. All right, so let's do a little bit of chat, and maybe we'll go and take a look at what's going on in HeadFi today, because that might be something to do too. Sorry guys, I'm just just having a good time here amongst myself, making jokes internally. Nephilim says, hey, made it. Well, cheers, brother. I'm so glad you could make it. That's a good time. Got to send you photos of my new fun and portable setup. Or transportable setup, for that matter. That's good. JTB wants to get drunk. Cheers, brother. Have at it. It's Friday. You're entitled. We don't worry about the consequences here. We just worry about the actions. Just get out there and throw a few down. So Nephilim says he got a K11 R2R DAC amp. He really likes it. It's a lot of fun. As for music, he's loving Propaganda Secret Wish. SDE released Blu-ray audio of it that he pre-ordered. How wonderful. How wonderful. See, it's always good to get a good album recommendation. That's fun. That's fun stuff. I tried to listen to some new stuff. You know, I've made the switch to Qobuz off of Tidal. A little bit of a, you're just in a different universe. I'm not saying either is better or worse. It's just different. So you have to get used to, like, how is their algorithm going to present music that I like? How is it going to choose stuff for me to see? We're starting from scratch. They have no data on me, and now they're going to start building, my preferences out. And it's just interesting. It's a different world. Full confession, and I mentioned this on the show before, Qobuz contacted me at the Can Jam show and offered me a free subscription. And I would normally decline that kind of thing, but we are in such dire financial straits. I'll thank you. Thanks. I'll mention you on the air every now and then, but they didn't require me to. But I don't mind telling people that I'm now using Qobuz, and I'm liking it so far. I notice no quality difference between the Qobuz and the other one, Tidal. I don't notice any. I've noticed no significant change in quality. I know there are guys who, pixel peep, or what do you call it? Bit peep, I guess you'd call it in the audio world. The samples and all of that from one streamer to the next. I just put on headphones and listen, and I'm telling you, I can't tell the difference. It's the same thing. I haven't run into anything that it didn't have that I wanted to listen to. There was one thing that I wanted to listen to, but Tidal didn't have it. I wonder if Qobuz does. There was an album. I'm gonna look it up right now because I can. There was an album called by a group called the Mighty Blue Kings. They're out of Chicago because I'm from Chicago. But I don't know if they had it here. Let me see. Mighty Blue Kings. They do have it. Okay, so here's a recommendation for you. There's an album called Meet Me in Uptown, and if you have Qobuz, this is not on Tidal, but if you have a Qobuz, there's an album called Meet Me in Uptown, and this was on the weekend show. Oh, we didn't talk about that either. This was on the Hangover Hangout. I gave this out as a recommendation. It's on RJ Records, and it was released in 1995, and this is a big band, a modern take on a big band. And it is a fabulous record. Very old school jazz swing kind of record. And it's on Qobuz. So there you go. There's a little listening tip for you. But I was looking for that, and they didn't have it on Tidal when I was still on Tidal back then. And this was on the last Hangover Hangout, which we had John Masseria on. John Massario's from JM Edition Headphones. He's a guy who started his company doing mods on headphones. And so you would send in your HiFiman HE-6 or whatever, and he would do like filters and stuff on it, or he'd send you a kit and you could do it yourself. Worked a bunch of ways. And and he would improve the sound on these things, and they'd come back to you, and you'd listen to them, and they'd sound great. So John started that, and then he's most recently developed a new line of dynamic driver headphones called the XTC, which he calls Ecstasy, obviously. I guess I should do that. Let's see if I can find JM. And some of these look really nice. I actually have to compliment them because there's a couple of these headphones that look really nice. Here's this. But John was on our Hangover Hangout, and we had kind of a livelier session. It got spicy. Here. So this is the JM Edition drivers. And these are reasonably priced. Carbon Megaverse. These get rave reviews. You can get some different colors and different things like that, and you can wire them any way you want. But this is his open back flagship. But John was on our show. Really nice and interesting guy. Very passionate about sound. Very opinionated about sound. I love it. I love people who come with an attitude and a position. Laid on us like The World According to John, and I loved it. And he's a great guy, and can't thank him enough for joining our weekend show. That was over on the Patreon Hangover Hangout last session. And the guys who are joining it's $3 a month, and then I send out all the past episodes, so you'll get to see the John episode. And it got pretty spicy in the middle. There were some hot takes on some things going on in the headphone hobby. It was pretty fun. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to mention it on live on the air and put words in people's mouths. It'll get brutal. So let's see. Nephilim, you sent me something. I'm going to look for the email and see if we can call that up, because we've got some time today. Oh, here's Nicholas. Here we go. Oh my God, you sent me a ton of photos. 16 photos from Nephilim. This is amazing. It's going to take me a second to get these where they need to go. So let's go. All right, so I've got to transfer, because what this is the main system here that's running all of this is not the system that I use to screen stuff. That goes onto a laptop. That's how we call up things. So I'm going to airdrop this over to the laptop. It's been giving me a little bit of trouble, but maybe it will relent. Will it relent? No. Come on. See if I can get this over there. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Nephilim's system. This is his portable stuff. And I'm going to butcher all of it because I'm far less up to date on this portable stuff than anything. All right, so let's see. Let's go to big. Oh, these are tiny photos. Okay. No, it's all right. We can still enjoy. I'm just gonna have to blow these up a little bit. Not like literally blow them, explode them, but make them larger. Okay. So dumb. So this is a portable, like, I gotta move this mic over so I can talk into it. This is a portable system. Let's see if he wrote me some notes on any of this. What we've got here, because I can't see from the side here what headphone this is. Nikolai, you're gonna have to help me out in the chat and tell me what we've got. Or Nicholas, sorry, Nicholas. But he's got obviously there's a FiO DAC sitting here. and some dongles, a lot of dongle stuff. I mean, it's cool. These are really small. All right, let's blow that up. TP, what is this? Nicholas, Nephilim, you got to help me out, brother. I don't know what these things are. What are we looking at? Okay, that's the D8000. And he's got a FiO, that's a DAC. And here's his source. So this looks like an Astell&Kern player, which is converting here. So he's feeding the audio out here. This is digital, and then it goes into the DAC, or is this just this might be just an amp, and then the amp out to the headphone. It's a FiO amp. Well, this is really interesting. I like this. I like this. All right, let's go. Let's move on. See what else. See what other photos are. There's 16 of them here. All right. Now I can't make out what this headphone is. This dark one. But I like that he's got a nice soft couch to lay down and listen to music on. That's nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right, what? It's got a fancy cable here. It's got a lion on there. All right, what's this? SMSL. Okay, this is a DAC. He's got he's got a bunch of stuff in a row here. That SMSL. This has got to be a DAC for sure. That is. Another look at this. These are very cool. Nicholas, thank you so much for sending it this way. I don't want to call you Nikolai. I like the FiO glow. That's nice. I'm a big fan of that. What's the DAC? Is this is an Astell&Kern? No? Is this the 380? Or is this one of the newer ones, the cons or whatever they're called? Power brick. Don't need to blow up that one. Huh. Okay. Nope. Alright, let's get this moving. FiO K11. And there it is. Obviously, it changes the color. I'm assuming this is based on the sample rate. It will change the color based on sample rate. It's very cool, man. Nicholas, thank you so much for sending that in. Love seeing this stuff, guys. I love seeing this stuff. Man, it's so much fun. I got to get this back in where it was. Sorry, my laptop's over here, so I got to move the mic. It's a whole thing. All right. Now the mic's all callywonkus. Get it out of my face. I'm sure this sounds good at home. Hey, look. Got a little clampy clamp. All right. Back to normal. Let's go back through the chat. Fun stuff. Okay, so he says it's the FT5. Mainly use the setup with the FiO FT5. That's the dark headphone that I couldn't identify because it was a little on the blurry side. And the final D8000, they are two headphones. He doesn't have to EQ. That's great. He cannot tolerate the treble of final headphones. I thought I didn't notice that, Reverend. I actually liked the D8000. I thought it was pretty nice. that just purchases a Quest style CMA 18 DAC amp. I have the M15. I use this thing. I didn't take it with me, and I wish I had, because I was doing some transcribing of stuff, and it would have really saved me to not have the lag of using a Bluetooth IEM when you're on a plane. But I didn't think ahead. I didn't bring it. Dear Reverend, he's surprised because he finds the original D8000 tuning absolutely sublime, and the treble sits beautifully. But I know we all hear differently, for sure. Apple Music has everything. Reverend says Apple Music has everything he wants except Tim Finn, Neil Finn's brother. I'm going to put that one down in my list, on my to listen to list. To listen to list. Right, that thing. The listen later button. That's Neil Finn, formerly of the Split Ends, Crowded House, and now Fleetwood Mac. Oh, wow. In case I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I didn't know he was with the Split Ends. I remember a song called I Got You. Is that the one that Split Ends did? I don't know why sometimes I get frightened. That's the Split Ends. I don't know why sometimes I get frightened. That's great. Crowded House is amazing. Such good music, Fleetwood Mac. He's the person that they chose to take the role of Lindsey Buckingham on the new tour. But it's not going to be the. I mean, half. I don't know how Fleetwood Mac is touring, because other than Stevie Nicks, you don't have anybody who can. You can do all Stevie Nicks songs, but you know, you've lost Christine now, rest her soul, and Lindsey was the male voice. Lindsey and Christine sang the majority of Fleetwood Mac's songs. So like you've removed two of the key people that make Fleetwood Mac. So I don't think it can be the same. Like if John wasn't with them, John McVie, the bassist, if he wasn't with them, I can see that they could replace him, you know, and you probably wouldn't miss it. And you could make the argument that although he's imposing and everything, you could probably get another drummer, because Mick doesn't sing, Mick Fleetwood. He does have a style that's very driving, though. But I think you could find somebody who could take over the drums for that. But losing both Christine McVie and Lindsey, I mean, that's the game for me. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. Neil Snyder says what he's most pleased about his new system that we just looked at. This is Neil's system. Hold, please. Shoop. What he's most pleased about is that he got a great sounding stuff and took $6,000 difference what he sold, and he bought and put it into his son's motorcycle fund. And that's nice to do. That was very nice of you to do. Now, his son has a couple of motorcycles already. I put that up, but yeah, that's a nice thing to do, Neil. That's a nice thing to do. You're a good dad. I appreciate that. This is a nice rig. I think this is a great rig. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with it. I mean, the Dave is still a world-class DAC. A little long in the tooth today, but my only complaint, as I said, about some of the chord stuff, but again, this plays right into Neil's preference, is that it tends to lean a little bit bright. But as Neil says, you can't make it bright enough. Like, no matter how bright you make it brighter. for his hearing. So I appreciate it. But it's a great setup. It's a great rig, and I like the shell. Even the shells. Look at the shells on this. It's so nice. Very state-of-the-art kind of. Although the aesthetic in me says you got to put the DAC down, the wide DAC. The Dave should go on the bottom, I think, and then go up from there. But then that gets your jack too high up in the air. I see your point. I see why you did it. But aesthetically, I want the widest thing on the bottom. aesthetics. He calls this setup any room in the house setup. Well, that's great. That's great, Nephilim. You could just go to town. You can take that thing anywhere with you, right? You know, it's transportable, but not easily portable. Not like pocket. It can't fit in your pocket. Still have to move it around. And you got a power brick on one of the components, which you've got to feed from something. So it's not like mobile, not true mobile. Neil bought a Tipsy M3 Jet Black and a Kanpur 622B. I've never heard of any of this. Unique Melody Jet Black. Okay, I got that, and a Kanpur. He's doing a lot of the chi-fi stuff. Which, man, there's deals out there. That's for sure. Oh, thank you. It's the Can Max. Is the Nephilim's DAP SMSL. We've seen that Neil had something similar to that, if not that exact model, and then the K11 for your amp. Very nice, very nice. Reverend says his first DAC was the Can Alpha. I still have two here. I have three here actually, but there's only one that's at my desk currently. The other one I don't think the other one's here. I have this one. This is the SP1000. I bought this when the SP3000 came out because the 1000s were suddenly like, I got this for $1,200, and this was like $3-4 grand not 6 months earlier, and I'm like, hell yeah. But I love this thing. It's a big brick, not the easiest to travel with. I still love the form factor of that AK240, and I know it doesn't sound as good as this SP1000, which I'm trying to pull out. This is really nice. This is copper, so pretty. I mean, and I also have the amp that goes with it. Just backs to it. I don't use this all that much. I don't use any of my DAPs all that much anymore. I've just got in the habit of iPhone, Bluetooth to a nice set of IEMs and be done with it. Because this is a commitment. This thing's heavy. This thing's like 2 or 3 pounds. I mean, you could get a workout. I don't know. Maybe not. If you're a wimp. The 2-pound dumbbells. Sorry, he'll send bigger photos next time. Yeah. Make a big deal out of it if you would. SMSL is amazing. Cleans up the USB signal and converts it to coax. Oh, okay. So you're using that to convert, and then you're using another the SMSL to take it the rest of the way. Oh no, you're taking the USB signal into that. Got it. That's that little box. Hang on. So we're all clear and we're all on the same page. Here's what he's doing. Trying to find one with all the components in it. All right, here we go. This is it. Okay, so the way it's working for him is here's the source. It's the Astell&Kern Can Max, and then this goes. He's feeding the USB signal into this SMSL, this tiny little wafer biscuit-sized converter. And it's converting the USB signal into a coax signal that then feeds the FiO, which does both a transcode to a DAC transfer, digital analog conversion, and the amplifier. And that goes out to his D8000. And that's got enough power to drive the D8000, which is a slightly power-hungry headphone. Not massive, but it's got a little it likes some gasoline. Keep it going. Likes some fuel. Likes the octane. Likes the high octane. A little bit, doesn't hurt it. Anyway. But that's great. Now we know. Now we have a better sense of what's going on there. FiO just released an R2R DAC amp combo, the K13. He thinks very tempting. I wonder how much that goes for. Let's see, because we can. Hey, you go back to my. There we go. FiO K13. $319. Guys, is this not like awesome where we're at and where we're at right now? Here, check this out. K13, it's streamer. You can stream to it. It's Wi-Fi. Black or silver. This thing's beautiful. Look at this. $319. And you can get an extra 5% off if you use the coupon code Directors Garage, all one word, at checkout. You're welcome, America. World. Whatever. Oh, God. So fun. So fun. But this is nice. This thing's nice. Let's see. Are there more photos of it? Oh, yeah. Let's do the photo. Let's do the carousel. The carousel of hope. That I get a job soon so I can afford some of this shit. Ooh, tasty inputs. Boy, for a $300 item. USB, optical, coax, 2 sets of line outs, plus your balanced output. And then you got the thing on the front, right? You got jacks. No jacks in the front. So you have to use a splitter to get this to your headphone. It's a sharp looking unit. All right. Not bad, JTB. Not bad at all. Like that thing. Okay. Nephilim said, yes, they did a little bit more bells and whistles than he needed, though. Oh, the K13, yes. Reverend Dr. Thomas says he's planning to get a USB to coax converter by DD Hi-Fi. Send a picture when you can. By the way, if you want to send a picture in, this is how you do it. You simply go to directorsgarage@gmail.com. directorsgarage@gmail.com. Make your appointment today. Special effects are great. Wow, I'm surprised you know the split ends. Of course, I'm an 80s geek. I try to know everybody from the 80s. I love the split ends. Great new wave band. And they were true new wave. They weren't like the, they were definitely in that lane, man. They were great. Slightly electronic, little synthy, but great. Just fun. Very much enjoyed them. Kind of like, I'm thinking about that keyboard that they used. It reminds me of Elvis Costello a little bit, like early Elvis Costello. It's got that beautiful ringing sound that Elvis had on his recordings. God, it's so great. I loved it. You have to go listen to some split ends tonight. Call them up. Kobuz will have it. It's shameless. Guys, he never raw dog a straight USB connection. Get a DDC for it. He can't recommend it enough, especially the PO100. It is very inexpensive and efficiently draws power from whatever device you connect. Huh. I've had some issues with that, but I've had it with my Canon products, my Canon N8, which I need to just completely redo. I've got to just firmware flash that thing back to stock and rebuild it because something's awry on it. I'm not even selling it anymore because it's in such bad shape. Something doesn't work right on it. When I tried a USB out of it, the straight player is fine. but like when I try to use it use the USB functions and all that, it doesn't work. So maybe that would be a solution, a way to get to make it more stable. Not a bad idea enough. Thanks, buddy. Reverend Thomas said, is the SMSL P0100 worth getting above the P0100 2024? He doesn't need DSD. I need DSD. I need DSD on everything. I'm a DSD whore. Depends on your connection needs. If you have a DAC that supports I2S HDMI, get the Pro version. If not, get the 2024 version and save a bit of cash. This is the SMSL. What's the model number? P0100. SMSL P0100. Okay. So let's look at this. So here's the PL100 Pro. And this has the HDMI on it, right? Oh, ideal for gaming. There you go. That's why you'd want that. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, because this is this is the non-USB version. 2024. Wow, this thing's tiny. I can't make these pictures bigger, unfortunately, fellas. It's not letting me. Straight converter though. Just kind of go in there and come out. Very handy. 33 bucks. Deal. Sold. My kind of language. Cheap. That's awesome. That's awesome. His portable iPhone plus AirPod Pro 3 or Noble IEMs. Well, I think the Nobles are just going to run circles around them. But the nice thing, here's the thing about the AirPod Pro 3, the new ones. And I haven't spent any time with them. I've heard some reviews, and they're typical Apple stuff. You know, they're very commercial sounding. But what's good about them is all of their extra functionality that are specific to the iPhone. You know, the microphones on them are supposed to be sensational. I've used these. I probably not the best call mechanism ever, but the sound is just spectacular. I love those. I use these more than any other audio listening device, and I don't say that for. I bought these with my own money when they came out. They were $450, and now they've got their new one is the Rex 5. And then they've got something called an Amadeus, which is red. But these, to me, are worth every penny. Just my personal opinion for sound. I have not heard the Rex 5 yet. No, I take that back. I did hear the Rex 5. I enjoyed them. I didn't hear the Amadeus. Rex 5's a winner. That was my favorite thing I heard at Can Jam from Noble, by far. And I listened to like their new Shogun, was it? I think it was called no, not the Shogun. Whatever their latest one was. I heard it's their top of the line, and I was not enamored by it. It's another technical marvel. I just want something that's a little more relaxed because it's got so much detail. It still pushes a lot of detail. Great bass though, phenomenal bass. I'm trying to remember the name of it. What is it called? Let's look it up. Oh, Kronos. The Kronos is the new one. Sorry. Sorry, those are all IEMs. Well, wait, but Neil, you have, what's wrong with, you have the King Arthur, what was it called? The Camelot, the Macbeth. You have the Macbeth. What happened to the Macbeth? Do you not like the Macbeth anymore? What happened to him? I'm confused. I need to know. Neil and I went to Can Jam last year and hooked up, not that way, but we hooked up, and he came over and he made me listen to the Macbeth, and I thought they were spectacular. And everybody's raved about the Macbeth, one of the best IEMs of last year, if not the best. So why are you buying more? What do you need this for? You've got $6,000 right here on this page, right here on these 3 IEMs. You gave that's your whole Ray Samuels right there. Forget the kid's motorcycle. You've got $6,000 in IEMs right there, man. The wisdom of us headphone people diminishes by the week because we keep buying this stuff we don't need. But it's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. And my hat's off to Neil no matter what, man. You can do whatever you want. It's fun to go. He's talking about how it's $6,000. I'm like, wait, that's $6,000? More than $6,000. It's $6,500 right there in new IEMs. It's like, it's the drug. Anthony37 just bought a new Wavedream Sig Ref. That is a DAC. Not had a chance to hook it up. He just moved from Florida to New York. So you'll all know, so as you know, or will know, a crazy time to say the least. I know, and we're trying to get to a point where we can move. I'm trying to sell this house. We don't have a buyer yet. FiO is value. Absolutely. Complete value. He really likes the company. Also, it's nice to get a decent taste of what an R2R DAC sells like. You know, and here's the thing, too, is like, they're not just making, like, crappy looking, like, you know, their stuff actually looks nice. Like, they're actually, I've had some FiO product. I think they're great. I think they make some really nice things. I really like, what's that? Is it the R9? R9. I think it's the R9. Yeah, this thing. Look at this thing. I love this thing. I'm dreaming to have a work desk someday where I can have a reason to need this, because I like the idea. Look at this thing. It's an all-in-one system with a gorgeous display. The director needs one of these in his life, just for the fun of it, just to have it sitting there, because I think it's really cool. Look at all the shit that this thing does. It does conversion, up conversion, down conversion, and it's FiO, and it's going to sound great. Now, it may not be the most powerful amp on the planet, but for most modern, mere mortal headphones, this would be fabulous. I'd love this R9. Rune ready, the whole thing. Sign me up. Well done, FiO. Even though you're not, you know, whatever. Rachna, just a couple of the SMSL PO. Just added a couple of the 2024s to his shopping cart. Very good. It's tiny, but it works. Excellent budget DDC. Very nice. Which out is preferable, optical or coax? I always say coax myself. Optical, and they've redone optical in recent years. I'm not up to the tech of optical anymore, but optical used to be limited in its data rate. But there may be a new standard that I'm not aware of. So, yeah, there's that. That's good. Neil still has his Macbeth. So now you got all these. What? Just out of curiosity, Neil, if you can, what does particularly this Kanpur 622B titanium, what does it bring to you that the Macbeth does not, or is it just a different flavor? Reverend prefers the Mephisto to the Macbeth. That's the same company, I believe. It will do DSD, but not natively. It converts to PCM. Does the DOP 64 Max? I'm not sure what that is. It's a conversion thing. Anyway, Fio makes great stuff. Have the K17 in one of his guest bedrooms. Great unit. Yeah, I absolutely. I think their value is phenomenal. They're like the shit of Asia. There, you can quote me on that. Michael, just so you know, the K11R2R amp section actually does 1.3 watts into 32 ohms. It has some juice. Yeah, is that enough? I mean, I'm sure you're getting loudness, but is that enough to really effectively drive that D8000? I mean, you got to be giving something back at just 1.3 watts. Because I mean, I think those D8000s really come alive if you can put a couple of watts into them. But you're probably getting the loudness out of them. I just know that, like, well, it's like anything, I'm trying to think of like a headphone that's kind of mid-tiered, rough to drive. Say the E3 from Dan Clark. You can drive them, you can find something that will make them loud enough, but like the more an amp that will drive them with more current will fill them in better. They'll sound richer. They'll sound more lush. They can get a little thin sounding because it takes a lot of power to move the bass. So you'll get plenty of loudness, but it's just not going to be the sound's not going to be as robust as it could be. But maybe you've done some testing on that. If you have, let me know. The D8000 original is quite sensitive. Oh, okay. I don't know which version I had in here back in the day. I honestly don't remember. It's too long ago. 60 ohms with a 98 dB efficiency rating. Very easy to drive. Oh, okay. Yeah. And of course scales massively. Okay. I think I might have had like a later version, but I thought it was, I sort of remember that being not the easiest, not hard to drive, but not the easiest to drive. Like not, I think like HD-600 easy, or, that's not the Focal, but I'm trying to think of like a super easy headphone to drive. This Sundara, super easy. Rockna, we're talking about something from a while ago, boys. Rockna. What else did I have to talk about today? We did some photos. We did some viewer photos. Oh, I wanted to look through the classifieds on HeadFi because I love doing that, and it's been a minute since we've done that. To your point, Michael, his big D8000 sounds best off his WA22, hands down. Okay. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, Nephilim. Exactly. Yeah, because your WA22 is a push-pull amp. It's going to be perfect for that headphone. It's going to be better for his headphone for that headphone probably than my WA5 LE, because it is a push-pull, and Dynamic Driver loves having that control. Fantastic. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, loudness isn't everything, because And I learned that, especially that came so into focus, and we'll talk about this next week or whenever the 30-minute mega show gets out to you, that you can make the talking about the 1995 Imanis, you can make that headphone make sound with lesser amps, with like, you know, and I don't even see lesser amp, like a good amp, like a Burson. It will drive them. It will make them. It will have them make sound, but the sound is thinner and it's not rich, and it's not like, it's not a wow. Like it's a, okay, that's nice. And so, you know, when you have this $10,000, pardon me, burping. When you have this $10,000 headphone and you're driving it with something that's, you know, not giving you the best power, it'll make them loud. It's just like you're not getting what the headphone was made to sound like. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting the best out of the headphone. You're better off with a $2,000 or $3,000 amp, which is not a slouch amp. It's a lot of money to spend on anything. But if that's what you have, or a $2,000 amp or a $1,500 amp, like, I don't think that the answer is to, you know, your setup should be go out and buy, you know, a RAL Magna for $6,000, $7,000, because you might as well, if you go out and buy an HE-1000 SE or an HE-1000, you know, unveiled, it's going to sound better than the RAL, because you're not driving the RAL the way the RAL needs to be driven to give you a sound that's, but now if you drive it properly, it's going to sound phenomenal. It's going to sound 100 times the HE-1000, but on a lesser amp, it's not going to sound that impressive at all. You're going to be like, okay, these are nice, and move on. And that's really what happened to me at the show. It was paired at the time with a Viva tube amp, which is a beautiful, big $19,000 amp. When the very first time I heard the Imanis, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good. I thought it was nice, but I think it was great, like a phenomenal. I wasn't blown away, and that's because the Viva doesn't push that amp or push that headphone in the right way with the right amount of power. As big and hulky and bulky as that amp is, it just didn't drive that headphone to, I felt, give me what, or maybe it was just the show environment. It could be that, but I just didn't think it didn't impress me that much. I thought they were nice, but I didn't think they were great. And then fast forward to putting it on some like major killer amps, and it's like, oh, the headphones, it's just a different headphone. But the amps I was testing it on were $12,500. It was, well, it's $19,000 for that Viva, but it just didn't have the power to drive it. It didn't sound like to me. So there you go. It's just anything, you know, like current makes a big difference on some of these headphones. Not you know, it's not just going to make it loud enough. Anytime an amp has a bigger power supply that is well designed with the amps and the circuits, you get more depth and space between the instruments. Cheaper op amp based amps don't do this. Yeah, for sure. You know, it says Cord Alto has 7 watts at 32 ohms, but its gain is tremendous. It will drive 4 headphones at any time with no effort. The Sesfaro was on 2 on the Raider. It's on 2 on the Alto. Yeah, the question and the flip side of this is you can push gain. Gain is different from power. Gain is, you got to think of it. Gain is how sensitive the amp is to the input signal, right? So if you, sorry, somebody coming in. Yeah, Miss Director just got home. I'll have to wrap up soon. But gain, gain is your sensitivity. It's like on a camera, it's like turning your ISO up, right? Your ISO setting is how sensitive the sensor is to light, and on an amp, you're telling the signal to be more sensitive to the input signal. It's not power. Power is different. Power is the amount of voltage going through out to your amp ultimately, or wattage. So if you can increase the gain, but if you have now, and Chord makes great stuff, so I'm sure you don't have the problem, but if you increase that gain, you are adding a lot of noise to the signal, because the more you increase gain, the more noise inherently it has to get noisier. It's just from physics. How much noisier is up to how well the amp is designed. So it's a different. You have to get your mind around it in a different way. And you can also, now the way you can help it out though, is by increasing the input signal to the amp off your DAC, and you can push, if you have a DAC that will give you 6 volts or 9 volts, some do. This DCS, the much maligned DCS, gives me 6 volts, and I know the Wandla will give you 9 volts out. That's a lot of help on the amp side. That's less work the amp has to do. So you can get more out of a lower powered device. And I don't know what the max out on the Dave is, but you can probably help yourself out if you increase the output of the Dave. And you might not need to go into high gain for that and keep it efficient. So, again, it's like the difference between loudness and power is different. Okay, so Neil, the Chord Alto is going to stick around with you for a bit, or should he look at the Head-Fi classifieds? Nephilim's trying to get in line. Nephilim's getting in line for your table scraps, Neil. I love it. I love it. The Alto has no distortion. They're clipping at max volume. One of the very few amps that doesn't add noise as the volume increases. Yeah, but again, volume versus gain. If you're increasing the gain, you're definitely increasing noise. It's just by how much, because you're increasing the sensitivity of the amp, right? But you can have, it can be clean. And low gain is obviously where it's native. It's kind of like, it's such an easy reference for me back to the camera world to think of it that way, but it's like you have a native ISO of the chip, you have a native gain, which is going to be your lowest gain. The more you increase that gain, and you just have to have like the cleanest, a great design circuit that doesn't pick up any noise from the components surrounding it. They all do to some extent. Even the expensive stuff will pick up noise in the darkest section of the signal. You know what I'm talking about? Like if you have nothing playing, and you turn your gain up, and then you crank your volume, there's going to be some inherent noise on the floor, right, of the signal. So it's every amp will do it. Every amp on the planet will do it. It'll give you something of a noise floor. You just got to know what that noise floor is, because that's what you're adding when you add the gain. It's going to add to the signal no matter what. Every amp does it. It's just a matter of how much and what the percentage is. So you can be distortion free. That's perfect. I mean, it should. Its Chord stuff is so good. It's so great. It's phenomenal stuff. The hollow may can do 9 volts RMS. Yeah, on the output side, I don't know. I didn't know that for sure, but thanks, Neff. It's good stuff. And like I said, the Wanla, I know the Wanla does 9 volts, but you can really help yourself out amping if you can increase that input signal, or the output signal, I should say, of the DAC, which is the input to the amp. Alto is not designed by Rob Watts, FYI. I didn't know that. High gain at 0 noise. Chord engineering magic. Okay. If you put it on a scope, Neil, I guarantee you will see something. Every amp does it. There's no magic. Like, you can't get rid of it. Anytime you go to high gain, you will add noise. It's just by how much and how audible is it. But there's no magic wand to escape the laws of physics. If only it were true. If it's dead quiet, if it sounds dead quiet to you, that's fantastic. It's all that matters. I mean, just listen to it. If you believe Reddit, the only thing that matters is frequency response of the amp. There's no such thing as fullness of sound. If you believe Reddit, well, if you believe Reddit, we never land on the moon. You know what I mean? It's great. I think it was John Franks. No, max gain full down, dead silent. My amp has 27 volts at 600 ohms. That's a good amp. The Alto work, $4. Is that an offer, Isoparametrics? You offering Neil $4 for his Alto? Which is necessary for his tungsten. Well, that, oh, yeah. I forgot, which amp is that, Rev? I forgot which amp you had. Anyway. Oh, keyboard challenge. Yeah, the tungsten is Hi-Fi Phantom. Whoa. Well, you're pushing a lot of gain on that thing to get to drive tungsten. Holy God. The Hi-Fi stuff, man. That's, ooh. Your amp, is it really got 627 volts into 600 ohms? Are they doing that naturally, or is that being done by, I'm not familiar with the Phantom. I've had some Hi-Fi stuff in here. It's got a lot of power, but it tended to be on the noisier side, but I haven't heard the Phantom, so maybe they've got a little better thing going on with that. But the gain on the Hi-Fi did a lot of their stuff with gain, where they were like pushing gain very high on, at least on the, I had the, what was it called, the Hi-Fi IDSD signature desktop. It was good. Anyway, they've done some incredible things though. Tungsten 2 is a bit revised for drivability. Yes, it's and I reported this in the last video. It's to me, it's 20% more, 20% easier to drive roughly. So, good stuff. All right, fellas, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Mr. Director is in the house. Thank you guys for stopping by today. Next week will be the. Next week I'm hoping to get this video. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I have so much to do, but if I can get the video out next week for the Raul Emanis, it'll be in your hands. I have 2 more videos after that to shoot still, which I'm excited about. I know what's coming, but you don't, so it'll be fun for you when we do it. And yeah, take care. I'll let you know. I'll put on the community page if something pops in the next few days. If there's anything interesting going on, we'll have a hangout probably in 2 weeks, I'm guessing. I don't have a guest booked yet. Haven't even got my head around it yet because we've been busy. But we'll figure it out. We'll do something. We'll have a nice Saturday session. Really like the John Rosario one. That was a lot of fun. Very spicy. A lot of spicy takes. So thanks, guys. I'll see you guys. Get on your weekend. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys before you know it.